he delivers beer on the trucks and all that. And then he said, well, I'll have to see about this. And she told me, I said, well, I'm not interested. I don't know, I don't want to see him. I didn't know he was married again, and I didn't know I've got these brothers and sisters. So I don't want nothing, because I was a loner on my own most of the time. She had new husbands or new boyfriends. And she said to me one day, she says, I've got a place we're going out on Sunday. She had a day off in the hospital, you know. I could get it off any time I wanted to. And she says, we're going to a place called Water Street to meet the Conroys. And I said, oh, for God's sake, I said, I don't want to waste a day going and seeing people I don't know, you know, and I listen to sob stories and everybody hates everybody. And I've got a funny thing, the only thing I hate is policemen and bloody ministers and popes and all that. They're all phonies. Mm. So we went to this Water Street. It's a little old rundown street from the last century, you know. There was a little railway house there. And there's only about 3 or 4 houses in the street. And I said, well, you pick one out. She said, well, that one over there is a bit the ugliest one of the lot. So I said, well, I'll just like come into this door here, you know. I opened up this door, and she's at the back of me like a little pet dog. She's at the back, and as I was walking up them kind of stairs, this door opens, and the most horrible looking fucking man I've ever seen opens the door. And then he really gets behind me, you know, and she's feeling in my back, you know. She says, I don't like this place, she said. And this old guy comes out and he looked at me, he said, you're Jesse's boy. Just like that, eh? Mm. Isn't it funny, eh? He said, you're Jesse's boy. I said, I think I said, I was still talking Scottish. And he said, I'm your grandfather, he said. Effing grandfather, you know, rough as guts. And I said, oh, well, nice to see you, Grandad. And he looked at me, you know, the fucking welly cauliflower ear. His nose was all over his face. He was pretty well stocky built, you know, you could see he's been a fighter, you know. Oh, Jesus. So he says, come in. And Noni didn't want to. She was at the back of me anyway. We got in there and he had a half a gallon of beer there. It's only about 3/4 empty, all full, you know. And he had a big rubber band round it, and he had a glass there. And he poured out this beer, and it was stale beer. And he says, here, get that down your guts. And I started laughing, and then he started crying. Aww. She says, I want to go home. I said, well, it was your idea to come out here, so you fucking stay in now. When I followed out, my granddad saw me with pride. I was speaking his language. And he said, effing, you know. He said, your effing old man lives across the road, he said. He said, but he won't let me in the house. He hates me effing gut. Yeah. It's true. By this time, Noni's uncontrollable. So I guess I said, well, I better leave your granddad and go and see my dad. Yes, F him too, you know. So I goes across the road, Noni and I, she's sobbing as if she'd just been run over with a bus or something. So I knocks the door, and this little girl comes out. She says, hello. Do you want to see my dad? And I hears the voice. It's one of my faults. He was sitting in his kitchen eating something. It wasn't mince, I'll tell you. And anyway, he yelled out, "Come in!" I've got a habit of doing that, even today, you know. Anybody's at the door, I yell out, "Come in." It's just a habit. So I went in, I didn't know what I'm going to see. There's my dad sitting in a singlet, a pair of kind of genie things. He saws me, he starts crying, his wife starts crying, all the kids start crying.
Oh my God.
Nobody's crying more than anybody.
Aww.
She's uncontrollable. Well, his wife gets up and puts her arms around Noni, you know. She'd never seen Noni in her life, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether to cry or laugh. I'm not a very good crying person, you know. And I've got a grin from fucking ear to ear. I don't know what to do. Noni's crying again, and the kids are getting worse.
Yeah.
And Gary, you know, my old, young but you know, the fucking size of him. Well, he was like that when he was about 12. Or should I say 1.
Shit.
He's a great big kid, eh? And he's going, "Wah!" I've never seen a kid cry and making that much noise as him. And their mum said, "This is your brother." And now he starts crying again. And the old man's
Everybody's crying.
We're all crying. My old man said, "Would you like to be here?" And I said, "Yeah." And his wife said, "Oh, you broke the ice."
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
So my old man said, "My name's Harley, and I would have named you after me, but that bitch wouldn't." He said, "I've heard your name is Tom." I said, "Well, I got under the name of Tom." I said, "But my first name's Harley." Well, the whole fucking place starts crying.
Oh my God.
I said, "I saw your dad across the road." "Don't talk about him." So we get there, everybody, Noni ends up with a cup of tea. I've got a bottle of beer. The old man's got a bottle of beer. She's got a cup of tea, and the kids are drinking lemonade or something. The old man takes me around the back and he says, "Have a look at this lot. It's got these big old-fashioned wardrobes under the house, and they're all full of beer. All lying flat on top, you know, each other. All this beer." Of course, he works in the brewery. He says it's quite obvious he's stolen them all, you know. There was dozens upon fucking dozens of them. All this beer. So anyway, he wasn't talking much to me, because he had nothing to say. He didn't know me really. So he quietly, we were having a beer together, you know, and I'd look at him and he'd look sideways at me, and I'd look sideways at him. I didn't know what to say to him. He said a couple of words about something to Desi, and I said, "Listen," I said, "I come round to see you, not to hear you fucking running down my mother."